So, remember when I said I was going to go with the second option? Well, hi again. I have some new updates on the piece which I previously called Album Leaf. That's right, it's no longer Album Leaf, but Romance. Anyways, remember how I said last week I had two options for the second part of this piece, and I've decided on the second option. Well, in the process of actually writing the script and deciding that I would be saying this in front of the camera, I would be choosing the second option here. It fits with the theme spectacularly, and it's more fun. I don't find myself struggling as much. If anything, I find it invigorating. Yeah, I think probably I'll be going with that. It relates more to the first theme compared to what I came up at first for the second part. Well, it just so happens in the last few days, while I was typing the piece into MuseScore, I wrote the first part, the first option in, and I listened to it again, and for some reason this time it kind of stuck for me. It didn't sound off. And better yet, while I was typing it into MuseScore, I managed to improve it. I managed to make it a little bit longer and a little bit more meaningful, and I have since then transformed it into the transition that I thought I wanted to look for the second option. So yeah, now that's a transition, and I finally made it work, despite me initially not thinking that it would work. But anyways, that was all in the program only. I still needed to try things out. So I continued writing the piece on the software up till a point for the second option. Once I've got it more or less written out, I had it printed so that I could later try it out during my composing session, which was earlier today. So with the session itself, it started off as usual, some practice. I managed to get some Chopin, and Mozart, and Tchaikovsky. And then once it came time for it, I finally took it out and tried. than I thought it to be, and I kind of enjoyed it. I tweaked it here and there because there are certain things when you're typing on music notation software, there are certain things that you would overlook for the player. So once I got that, I tried it out and I've adjusted it a little bit. What I have originally written was still mostly intact. So from here on, right after where I stopped on the software itself, I brought the piece around several quick key changes, from the original D minor to F minor to G sharp minor, then to B minor, before going back to D minor, and then I ended it on A minor. I felt like this was the way to go. The idea sort of came to me, this idea of constant modulation. After I finished typing it into MuseScore, I remember coming off of it, just humming, just thinking that maybe I could do something like this. It's almost something quite otherworldly. It's almost like a fantasy soundtrack. So in essence, here's what I have eventually for the first half of the second section of this piece. In the coming weeks, I plan to get this section completed, hopefully, and then finally move on to the final bit, the recapitulation, and maybe be finished with the entire piece altogether, and also most likely the collection of the piano piece, and move on to other things. But who knows, maybe I might have some ideas down the line for the piano pieces. I do quite enjoy writing for the piano now. Well, we'll see. Anyways, that's all for this week. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back with more next week. Bye.